start drawing some circles to work between things. All right. Now, at this point, we all know how to draw a circle. We know how to constrain it with the Shift key in order to make it perfectly round. All right. It's a pretty simple procedure. I'm going to grab my shape palette here and just tear one off so that we can grab it easily as we need to. All right. And so let's just create a circle right now so that we know that we can all do it. We're going to use this guide that's kind of between, in the middle of this middle gray path here. Okay, and so what we do normally is we just click, drag. Remember, it's going to kind of drag away from where we start. So I'm going to add the Option key to draw from the center, and I'm going to add the Shift key to draw to constrain the proportions. All right, and I'll release. And then so when this one came up, it didn't have a appearance to it, so I'm just going to give it its own appearance. You can grab just this medium gray here. Actually, I'll go a little bit darker. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of the same value as this here as what we have. Now, what we typically do is, once we have something like this drawn, in order to draw this around the circle, we'd use our different guidelines in order to align ourselves. So with the Command key, I could grab my selection tool, make sure that the object is selected, and then I could click it, I could drag over, I could find the intersection there, press the Option key so I could duplicate and release. Now, one of the issues that we run into with that, though, is that we have an overlapping edge here, which may work for you. You never know. Now, the major issue that we're going to have with that form of transformation that we did there, because that was a change of place plus a duplication, is that if I want to try and do that transformation one more time, or do it a bunch of times, what's going to happen is that, let's see if I can transform again. Oh, it just kind of does the same, X to Y transformation. It doesn't follow around that. So first off, I need to do a different type of transformation, correct? Which is our rotation. So I'm going to go over to our rotate command. Now, I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut from here on, which is the R key. So I'm going to click on that. And so, we have our transformation and origin right there. And we're going to set that down here at the center point of all the guides. So I'm going to click, that's set. Now I have my selection arrow without a tail that I can use to rotate with. I'm going to drag that around. I'm going to set it right on that path again. Okay, and then I'm going to hold down the Option key so that I duplicate. Okay, and I notice that my intersect value is 22.51. Alright, so there's that. And then I could go in and I could Command D to transform again and go all the way around the outside of the circle. Now, that might work. That might be exactly what you want. Alright, like that, the overplay and all that stuff might look just fine for you. Now, what I will say is this, is that if we were to do that and add a stroke to it, it might look a little bit different, because here, I'll just add a stroke to these two here, because what would happen is if you needed a stroke to divide those out, oops, didn't add one there, okay, you get this, you can see where it's actually interacting with the other circle, all right, which is not really what you want. And you can see here, it's uneven because this one happens to be on top of both this circle and on top of this circle. All right, so what if we want those to look like they're all kind of on the same plane and that there's no actual stacking, or we have to make them actually link up together next to each other. So what we'll do is I'm going to go in and I'm just going to get rid of all those circles real quickly here. So I'm going to open that up and grab this first circle, and then make sure that I grab the right one, and then that's the last circle there. Now, that's a cumbersome way to do that. I'm going to show you a better way soon. So we're going to click, we're going to drag those to the can, and they're gone. Alright, a better way that I feel to do this type of function is to actually measure out how big we need to make the circles first, and then from there we're going to use math and work our way around it. Okay, so grab your line segment tool, and what you're going to do is you're just going to draw a short temporary segment from this anchor point to any of the adjacent anchor points that we're going to set our circles to. Okay, and what you'll see is that when you hit that intersect, the diameter is about 94.73 points. Okay, and so that's a very specific number, but also a number I can jot down next to me or even just remember for a few moments. Okay, so that's good to know. 94.73. So I'm going to release, then I'm going to hit delete to get rid of that segment. I'm going to grab my elliptical tool. I'm going to set my cursor right where I want to draw the center of that circle, and I'm going to click. Okay, and that brings up my dialog box so that I can just put in the widths. So let's type in 94.73, and then we tab down and it puts in the points for us. 94.73. Tab, and then we've got what we want. Then the option key. Oh, of course it doesn't work the way you want it every time, but and then we'll just drag this back up to where we want it in the center there. Okay, so technically that should be exactly half of that distance. All right. So what we'll do now is we'll use the R key to get up the rotate tool, and then let me throw a fill on this so it's easier to see. And then I'm going to place my transformation origin, and then let's make the first rotation here, and then option there. Okay, now what I just did, not the best way to do that. The reason for that, the angle that it gave me here was 21 or 22.51. Well, if you guys have done geometry, you understand that 0.51 is more of a rotation than what we probably need, because we want to work in whole numbers. So what I want to do, I'm going to show you how to do that correctly, because what's going to happen is over a period of time, that distance, it's going to actually over rotate and then overlap a little bit, and it's going to look even worse than what we did before. All right, so let's undo that. And this time when we put in the insertion cursor, we're going to add a key. We're going to add in the option key. So go ahead and just click. What that does, that brings up that option dialog option box. So we're just going to go 22.5. I'm going to tab that so that we know that's perfectly there. You didn't see much of a difference on that, but it's going to make a difference over time. All right, and so we're just going to click on the copy. Now we have two circles perfectly aligned there, and then we're going to do a transform again, transform again. That's Command D in order to do that function. We're just going to do that repeatedly until we get all the way around the circle. All right, on the next one, on the next video, we're going to add some lines in and then add another shape in, and that will bring us to it. But we're going to learn how to do some math inside that dialog box in order to make our lives easier. Okay, see you in the next one.